so 10.5 iterations. Basically what this is we're going to be doing like functions, okay? So iteration is basically when you substitute things into a function, and then what you get, you resubstitute back into the function. All right, so let me just show you this with this warm up here. So the warm up here, it's given that the function is f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. All right, so that's the function. And we want to find f of 3. All right, so hopefully you guys remember this. To find f of 3, I'm going to plug in 3 into the function. All right, so I'm going to plug in for that x, I'm going to plug in 3, and I get 2 times 3 plus 3, which simplifies down to 9. Okay, now part B, they want us to now plug in f of 3 back into the function. Now f of 3, we just found out, is equal to 9. All right, so I'm going to substitute that with 9, and now plug 9 in back into the function. All right, so that's 2 times 9 plus 3, which gets me 21. All right, and then part C, they want to find f of 3. Okay, so that means, well, you work the inside out, right? So f of 3, well, we figure out was 9 from part A. But f of 9, we figured out, was equal to 21. So we can replace f of 9 with 21. And now we can put 21 back into the function right here, and we simplify to get 45. All right, so that's what we're really going to be doing today. We're just going to be plugging things into functions, getting that answer, and then re-plugging it into the function. All right, so that's basically what iteration is. Okay, so here's a full-on example with a lot more explanation than you guys probably need, but hey, more is better. So, well, not always, but in this case, maybe. So here's an example of the problems you guys will see, okay? So it says, find the first 3 iterates of this function. Now, an iterate or iteration, what it is up here is the process of composing a function with itself repeatedly. All right, so like I said, you're just kind of plugging numbers in and then resubmitting it repeatedly. In this case, they want us to find the first three. All right, so every time we have this, you need an initial value. Now here, put a special note to yourself here, okay? This is not the first iterate. Okay, that actually does not count as one iterate. So when you're finding the first 3, 2 does not count as a first one, okay? So be careful on doing, like, thinking that that's the first iterate. Okay, so to find the first iterate, what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 2 into the function, all right? So plug in 2 into x, and we get 4 times 2 minus 5, which gets you 3. All right, so the first iterate is x sub 1 equals 3. So this is your first iterate. All right, now to find the second one, what you're going to do is you're going to plug in 3 back into the function. All right, so plug in 3 back into the function right here, and that simplifies to 7. So x sub 2 is going to be 7, and that is your second iterate. All right, and then hopefully you guys see the pattern now. We're going to plug that back into the function. So 4 times 7 minus 5, that gets us 23. So x sub 3 is 23, and that's going to be your third iterate. Okay, so then your final answer will be 3, 7, and 23. So those are the first three iterates. Okay, any questions? So here we go. Same question. Find the first three iterates of each function for the given initial value. Okay, so let's try it. Try it with me today. Timothy, why don't you try it with me for number one, Timothy? So any initial thoughts, Timothy?
I'm not. I don't think I'm the best person on this right now, but I'll try.
Perfect. That's all I'm asking. Yep. Just to try.
Okay, so I'm guessing start with what's going. You start with x1, so that would equal f x0, which we're going, which would be. I'm just like kind of basing it off of the
The
example.
example? Perfect. Yeah,
I'm trying to talk myself through it. I'm sorry.
that's fine. That's perfect.
So I think you would take the 5 and put it the 3x minus 1 as an x.
Perfect. Yes. So then tell me what to write. 3.
Oh, we 3 multiplied by 5 minus 1.
Perfect. Which is equal to?
Uh, 15 minus 1, 14.
Perfect. Okay. So Timothy, you just found your first iterate.
Hooray.
Awesome. Okay. Now, do you know what to do now to get the second iterate?
Um, so is it just increasing it by 1 like the example does, or is it
What increases by 1?
by the x?
Yes. So now we're doing x sub 2. Yes.
So would it be 3 multiplied by 6 minus 1?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not quite, but good try. Because x sub 2, I see you want to increase the 5 by 1, right?
Yeah, that's just what I see with the previous problem.
Yeah, okay. So basically, I think you're thinking of like this right here is x sub 0, right? The 5 was x sub 0.
Yes.
So you don't want to increase the 5 by 1. You want to,
Oh, that's going to be an x sub 1. Oh, so it's
yeah,
314 minus
there
1.
you go. Yes, nice. Okay, so 3 times 14 minus 1. Good. All right, so that is 42, I believe.
Yes, I think it's 42 minus 1, which would
Okay,
be 41.
perfect. Okay, so now do you think you know how to find the third iterate?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just, what's it called? Then it's just 3 multiplied by 41 minus 1.
perfect.
I can
Timothy,
guarantee you I do not know that.
no worries. I'm pretty sure that is 123. Somebody with a calculator, you can double check before that. Minus 1 gets you 122. All right. Timothy, how are we doing? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
Perfect. Great job. Great job. All right, so that is your final answer. Nicely done. Okay. Uh any questions? Let me see if there's any in the chat. If not, we will go to example 2. And let me call on somebody else, see if you can figure out this one. All right, so same thing, first three iterates of the function given that initial value. Rachel, let's try this one together.
Okay. Um, so so you start with um the 2x squared, right?
Uh-huh, good.
But it's squared, so do you just do 2? Do you start so you do x1 equals 2 times -4 plus 5.
Yes, but with the square, you still want that square
Okay.
there. Okay, perfect. Good. All right, so that simplifies to be 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then that I trust you guys can do. That gets me 37. Okay, now to get the second one, what do we do, Rachel?
So you would do 2 times 37 squared plus 5.
Perfect. Nicely done. All right, so 37 square. I definitely do not know that. I got 1,369 plus 5. So times 2. And oh, I would say this, guys, be super careful with these because if you get like the first one wrong, like the rest of it's wrong too. So, um, yeah, so just be careful. Just be careful. Okay, so I got, when I simplified that, I got 2,743. I'm double checking my answer key. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So Rachel, last one. I think you got this.
So it'd be 2 times 2,743 squared plus 5.
Perfect. Nicely done. All right. And I'm just going to look at my answer key because this becomes a very large number. Okay. Perfect. Nicely done, Rachel. You got it. All right. So this is my answer for number 2, or I should say Rachel's answer. Nice. Okay. Let's try number 3. Let's go to da, 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 Joanne. All right, Joanne, try number 3 with me. What do you think? Okay, Joanne, go for it.
So I plug in 1 for all the x's.
Good. So what do we get? X1 equals
1 squared minus 3 times 1,
good. And that equals 2.
negative 2.
Good. All right. Then second iterate, what do we do?
I plug in negative 2 for the x's.
Good. So tell me what to write.
Negative 2 to the power of 2 minus 3 times 2,
3 times
negative 2.
negative 2. Good. All right. And what does that simplify to be?
2.
Let me see. That's negative 2 square is 4, and then minus 3 times negative 2, so that's plus 6. So then that will get me
2.
10.
No, 10.
Yeah, let me double check my key. Yes. Okay, so that's 10. All right, and then the third iterate then would be
10 to the power of 2 minus 3 times 10.
good. All right, and what does that turn out to be?
70.
Yeah, nice. That's 100 minus 30, which is 70. Awesome. Good job, Joanne. Okay, so final answer, we got negative 2, 10, and 70. Perfect. All right, any questions, guys, before I have you try number 4, our last one on your own? If not, go ahead and start trying and put your answer in the chat once you are done. If you have any questions, though, type it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer it. Number 4.
Okay, so I did x sub 1 equals to 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 2, so that's 0.
Good.
And then I did x sub 2 equals to 0 minus 1 over 0 plus 2, and that's negative 0.5.
Good. So 1/2 or negative 0.5. Perfect.
And for x sub 3, I did negative 0.5 minus 1 over negative 0.5 plus 2, so that's negative 1.
Good. All right. So this is negative 1.5 over, I think this is 1.5, which gets
Yeah.
you -1. Perfect. Nicely done. So 0, -0.5, which if you wrote -1/2, perfect. And then -1. Awesome job, Gloria. Nice. All right, and really good job. I saw a lot of correct answers in there. I think some of you guys just kind of lost a negative here and there. So just be careful, especially with these guys, because again, if you like, let's say, got this one wrong, you're not going to get this one right either. So you really want to make sure you are careful with these, okay? But it sounds like you really got it. So great job.